So Paradise PD is a Netflix comedy show and it is adult animation, meaning it is similar to shows like Family Guy, The Simpsons, The Cleveland Show, American Dad, etc., etc. And if you're a fan of these shows, it is my personal belief that you will probably enjoy and be a fan of Paradise PD too. However, the show has gathered quite a lot of hate, I suppose, and slight controversy because a lot of people have said that it just wasn't really that funny. And where do I stand on this as someone making a video on it? Well, I slightly disagree, right? And here is my reasoning. The most common reason I saw for people disliking this show or saying that it was overrated or that it simply just sucked is because they had the belief and the opinion that the TV show was focused way too much on just making random silly little jokes that sometimes didn't even make sense, rather than having an intricate and interesting storyline with developed characters. They said that the show was focused far too much on comedy rather than being an actual enjoyable, watchable and detailed and interesting show. And whilst I agree to an extent, I feel like the purpose of this show was 100% the jokes and the comedy and the skits, rather than the storyline, the plotline, the characters, the politics, etc., etc. However, I do not believe that this makes the show not funny. And whilst I do completely understand that for a lot of people, sitting down and watching something like this might just be really annoying to you because maybe you don't want a joke after another joke, after another joke, after another joke. Maybe you want to sit down and fall in love with some really deep and interesting and developed characters. Maybe you want to grip onto the edge of your seat as the tension of the story just grabs you like that. I don't know, right? But Paradise PD is not really what that aims for. It's not really what Paradise PD is aimed to be, what it aims to do for the audience. It is supposed to just be a silly little TV show for predominantly young, most likely 420 friendly people to just sit down, watch and have a giggle. And whilst I understand that comedy is subjective, meaning that things I find funny, you might not find funny at all, and things that you find funny, I might not find funny at all. However, I do feel like Paradise PD seriously gets a lot more hate than it deserves. Whilst the plot line and the characters and the story really wasn't all that interesting and all that great, no, I feel like it was a really funny show. The characters, they made me giggle quite a lot. They weren't really well thought of, but I think that's sort of what made them funnier characters, if that makes sense. Another thing I really enjoyed about the show as well is that you don't even have to focus on it, right? It's one of those shows where, say you want to get a bit of studying done, or you want to maybe game for a little bit, or you've got to get some cooking done, right? You want to sit down and watch something, but you're not able to fully dedicate yourself to the show at the time because you've got things to do. It's fine, you can chuck it on in the background and it's still funny, it still works. You don't have to pay full attention to understand the show and understand what's going on. And that's one of the things I like a lot about comedies, particularly sitcoms, things like The In-Betweeners, The Big Bang Theory, Paradise PD, Family Guy, is that if you want to sit down and watch it and focus on it, it's really good, it's really interesting, and it's really entertaining. But like I said, if you don't have the time for that and you just want something on in the background, it is equally as entertaining, even if you're not focusing on it. So that's another thing I really enjoyed about this show. Now, I understand that a lot of people might dislike that and might not want to watch something that you don't have to focus on, but I personally found that to make it a lot more enjoyable for me. I feel like the simplicity of these characters is what made them funny. If you look at Delbert and Robbie, you know, they're brain dead hillbilly rednecks who commit incest and do all this stupid shit, right? That's what makes them funny characters. You know, if they were like these really deep, detailed, in-depth scientists with complicated, controversial histories, like it wouldn't be funny. Gina just being an angry bitch that wants to kill everyone, that's what makes her funny. Bullet being a canine unit, right, a police dog, with a drug problem. Yeah, it's really cringy and basic and a little bit stupid, but it's still funny, you know. It doesn't have to be really deep and detailed and interesting to be funny, and I think that's the biggest issue with this show is people are sitting down, getting ready to watch it and expecting some sort of fucking holy divine experience, and that's not really what you should be expecting when you sit down and you watch what is essentially Family Guy, but for the police. Like, did you get what I mean? Like, it's not... But Maybe that's just my opinion. Maybe you all feel differently, right? Maybe you all hated Paradise PD. Maybe you all thought it was terrible. Me personally, I didn't think it was that bad. Like, I got a few laughs out of it. I definitely rewatched it more than twice, so I think that says a lot. But, you know, I don't think it was all that unfunny. You know, I just think if you like Family Guy, if you like The Simpsons, if you like American Dad, you know, if you like adult animation, you are most likely going to like Paradise PD. All this being said, as for my recommendation, like I said, I recommend, you know, if you're a comedy fan, if you're an adult animation fan, you should all check out Paradise PD. Look, people say we're not good. I disagree, but I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. This is Toshi, signing out.